Hello everybody, this is Tim here, finally back again with the next James Bond review. Here to do a review for the movie The Man with the Golden Gun, starring Roger Moore and Christopher Lee. Once again, I'm just going to kind of skim through these James Bond movies so I can get the reviews done really quick so I can move on to some horror franchises. Because honestly, I'm kind of James Bond to death. As far as Man with the Golden Gun goes, I'd give it 2.5 stars out of 4. I liked it just like a little bit more than Live and Let Die, only because this movie seems like it knows it's campy and is not afraid to like let you laugh at it instead of with it, really. Whereas Live and Let Die was also campy, but expected you to take like the voodoo shit in it seriously when that just made me not. That just made me like it a little bit less because the voodoo shit in Live and Let Die is just so silly and stupid that just kind of hurt me to try to take it seriously, honestly. But this movie knows it's campy. You got Christopher Lee in it as the bad guy, Scaramanga, who has like three nipples, and it's like what? It's these James Bond movies. The Roger Moore ones really feel like live action cartoons almost, honestly. And I can definitely see why James Bond fans don't like these. Roger Moore's films are. I've never actually, honestly, I've never actually sat down and watched all these James Bond movies like I've been doing. But I've always heard that the Roger Moore movies were really silly and most people didn't like them, and I can definitely see why. I'd give this film 2.5 stars out of 4. It's all right, just barely all right. Pretty much you got Scaramanga, who's like this assassin who wants to kill James Bond, and he has a golden gun. And he's got like this little midget sidekick with him named Nick Nack, which I actually thought this little midget dude was kind of funny. Um, but anyway, it's pretty much a simple story. Not a lot of really over the top action, but at this point, the movies just really feel like live action cartoons. I mean, you got a scene where James Bond is like getting chased by all these karate guys, and he has like these two, well, they are hot, two hot Asian girls in like little schoolgirl outfits, which is really hot. But they just all want to start doing kung fu and beating up the karate guys or whatever who are chasing after James Bond, and I'm like, what? It's like, is this even James Bond anymore? I mean, honestly, it feels like a cartoon. Well, seriously. I liked Christopher Lee as the villain, though. It always seemed like he won up James Bond in the movie and was always able to get away from him. But at the end of the movie, when it's a showdown between him and James Bond, they're in like this fun house or whatever that Christopher Lee's character has, and he wants to kill James Bond in there in a one-on-one, mano-a-mano gunslinging fight. But James Bond kills him extremely easy. James Bond just pretends to like be a statue, and and Christopher Lee walks in there, and as soon as Christopher Lee starts turning around, James Bond just fires, bam, and he's dead. Literally, the actual duel felt like 5 seconds after the entire movie had built up to it. So it's like, what the fuck is the point? It's just totally useless. Um, and then after that, you got the ridiculous ass scene, but I did actually laugh at it a little bit where the little knick-knack midget guy is on the boat that James Bond is on, and he like comes after James Bond with a knife, and he's like trying to stab him. He's like, "I will kill you! Come on, I will get you!" Totally reminded me of Mini Me from Austin Powers. I couldn't take it seriously at all, and even the movie doesn't want you to take it seriously because they're making jokes at the same time. How much you enjoy this movie, honestly, or especially this ending. I mean, how much you enjoy this ending right here will really depend on your sense of humor and whether or not you're able to laugh along with the campiness here when it's obviously trying to make you laugh. I mean, the little dude's like running away from James Bond, and he's like runs underneath a couch or a bed or whatever, and James Bond's like stabbing shit underneath there, trying to hit him, but he can't. And then the dude will like come up behind him and push him down. It's really stupid. It is. It's stupid as all shit, but it's actually got a few laughs out of it. And then James Bond actually locks the little dude up in a trunk, and I actually thought that's pretty damn funny. And you think James Bond's like thrown him overboard, but he hasn't. He's really like hung him up on like the top of the ship or whatever. I thought that was hilarious. And then you got some really like juvenile comedy from James Bond, where James Bond is like on the phone talking to his superior, and the guy's wanting to talk to Miss Goodnight, which is like the woman James Bond is banging. She's like the Bond girl in the movie, and he's like, "Don't worry, sir, she'll be coming in a minute." And I'm like, "Oh, Bond, you so clever, Bond." It's really stupid, but I gotta laugh out of it because it's the way Roger Moore delivers it. Like I said, this movie's really campy, even more campy than the last one because the last one at least tried to take itself seriously. Um, All in all, I think I liked Yaphet Kotto better as a villain in the last one. I mean, I really enjoy Christopher Lee here as the villain, but he just gets wasted in the end. I mean, like overall with Yaphet Kotto, I liked him like all together in the last movie better. Here, I do like Christopher Lee better than Yaphet Kotto for the most part, but at the end of the movie, Christopher Lee just gets wasted. So all in all, it just makes me like his character less because they don't do enough with him. Um, but yeah, anyway, as far as it goes, that's pretty much the movie. I mean, it's just James Bond versus this assassin guy. There's nothing really much to this one, really. It's just this guy wants to kill James Bond, and he outsmarts James Bond through the whole movie. But at the end of it, James Bond gets the upper hand and shoots him. That's pretty much it. The fight's literally the actual fight between the two, or the duel, or whatever, really just felt like it was just a few seconds. And another thing, I can't stand this stupid shit where you got 100 chances. What feels, I mean, where you got like 4 or 5 chances where the bad guys have captured James Bond and can once again kill him anytime they've captured him. And of course, they don't kill him. They either, same thing with all these movies, they'll put him in a room where they don't see him get killed, or they won't watch what happens to make sure he dies, and they just walk off, or stupid shit like that. I hate that shit. And they do that once again here, where Christopher Lee has lots of chances to kill him, but he just either keeps letting him go because he wants to prolong everything, or he just something stupid happens and James Bond gets away. I can't stand that shit. But yeah, all in all, it's an all right movie. I would just give it 2 stars like the last one, but I actually got a few laughs out of the midget versus James Bond fight at the end just because it's so stupid. I actually got a few laughs out of it. So yeah, all in all, I'd give this an all right rating. It's an all right movie just to kind of be laughed at. Maybe they didn't intend you to actually laugh at the movie, but with it, well, no, I take that back. They had to have intended you to laugh at this movie because the James Bond fighting the midget is just so stupid. It had to have been done purposely for you to laugh at. There's no way they could have expected you to take that shit seriously. So all in all, it's an all right movie. Roger Moore is Bond once again. I don't really buy him as like a suave guy who can like talk women in the bed with him all the time. He's not a bad looking dude. I just don't really buy it. In the action scenes, he's okay. Um, but I don't buy him as like a suave dude. What the thing I like about Roger Moore's Bond is like how much of a smartass he is. His smartassness is still in here too. But whenever you see close-ups of Roger Moore, he just looks too old to be playing Bond. I mean, like he just looks too old. But yeah, all in all, it's an all right film. I'll see you guys again with whichever the fuck one is next, and I have no idea what it's gonna be.